Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Sunday, and we have not had a lot of weather like this, and I've not been off when we've had weather like this, so I'm taking advantage of it, and I'm going to work on the van today. Spray foam is coming on Wednesday. We were going to do it over the weekend, but unfortunately the company that I'm working with had to reschedule, which is totally fine. I am grateful for everything that they're doing. So it actually was a blessing in disguise because it's going to give me some time to do a couple things that I didn't have time to do before. And so now I'll be able to do those. So I have a partner in crime today. Come here, JJ. Come here, buddy. Hi. He is not too sure. Hi, Guy. JJ's not too sure about what's going on today. He's a bit of a hermit most days, so I am trying to get him out of his shell. We're taking more rides in the van. We are doing things like sitting outside and just, trying to get him a little bit more comfortable with this lifestyle. The last time I talked to you, I was moving the floor out of the van. I had a friend come by and help me really quick to pull the rest of the floor out. So what we ended up doing was just lifting the rest of the floor up, and then one of us went to the opposite end and popped the rest of the floor out. So the only downside to removing the floor was we ended up with some of these wood areas that didn't pop out, and so that did strip sections off of that floor. So this is actually the floor removed. This is the back side of the floor, and you can see where it's really just a thick wood with a plastic coating on it, and it is super heavy, but I'm going to use it as a template, and once I'm done with it, I'm going to see if I can sell it. If not, I may just give it to somebody if I can't get rid of it. So what I am left with on this floor is all of this really nasty dark glue, and it does come out. If you can get it started, you can actually pry it up, but it is very tedious and very difficult. So I purchased a heat gun. I'm going to get all of that out today and get the floor cleaned up, and then the goal is to go ahead and put the studs, and sorry it's really windy today if you guys are getting that, put the studs for the supports for the subfloor in before I do the spray foam. So that's what we're going to work on today. So the tools today are my heat gun and a pair of pliers. I'm hoping that's all I will need. If not, I do have a small pry bar, but I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible to keep from gouging the metal if I can. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. The one that I'm having issues with, I can't get any, it's like really flat and there's not a lot of leverage underneath. So these pieces that I can get under the edges are going to be a lot easier to pull off. So I may have to use, unfortunately, the pry bar to get underneath, because this is actually just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of coming apart in small pieces. It's going to take a little bit. So some of these thicker pieces I cannot get up, so I'm going to need someone with a little bit more muscle power than I have to see if they can get those out for me. That was not easy at all. The video I watched, they always make it look so easy. I was hating life and everything it stands for about a half hour. friends, so here's the plan for today. Yesterday ran to Home Depot and got some supplies, and so what we have is our flooring studs and plywood. So the plan is to go ahead and frame out the floor for putting the subfloor, which will be the plywood, on top of that. I want to go ahead and get that framed out. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm actually going to be going underneath and going up through the floor of the van. I have screws and washers, and so the bolts, or bolts rather, the bolts will have a washer close to the head, and that will butt up against the bottom of the van. So that'll keep water from coming into the bottom of the van through any screw holes or anything like that. So I bought these nifty little T-nuts, which hammer straight down into the wood. The bolt comes through, and then I will shear that bolt off, and we'll have a nice even floor. And then when I put the subfloor down, I'll just screw the subfloor into the studs. So sounds simple. I think the biggest challenge is just going to be getting everything measured out underneath so that when I come up through, that I'm in the right spot and that I don't have holes that I have to seal. So fingers crossed that we don't have a lot of mess with that. So the way that I'm going to place these is I'm actually going to center them in between these ridges. I was going to put them directly on top, but I don't like how that actually gives some movement to that board. Even once it's flat, there's a lot of space underneath these edges that just doesn't have any support. So now that I'm seeing these in here, I think the better option is going to be centering them. That way they have, that is solid. That's not going anywhere. And so these ridges are going to be my guidelines. And if we go under the van, you can see those ridges exist all along the bottom of the van too. So once I get my pilot holes going back here, then I'll be able to measure as I go down and keep a straight line, and I will know exactly where I'm putting these holes and where they're going to go into the boards. Visual cues. I don't want to have to get up and down 1,000 times. So I'm going to take some painter's tape. That way I can see exactly where my board is lined up without having to get out and come back up here. What you might be thinking, why would I drill holes in the floor, not in the boards, and now I'm gonna have to figure out where those, I'm with you. I can go from the bottom and mark the boards once I get them set, or now that I'm a little bit more comfortable, I've got my pilot holes, I can go top down if I choose to do that. We'll see how it goes. what I don't want to do is go too quickly and end up creating a problem somewhere else. So this is just going to take some time. I'm just going to go slow and put each board down the way that I want it. I'm not going to drill a whole bunch of holes and then have a whole bunch of stuff to fix just in case. And so that is the plan for this. And right now I've got you guys on my phone. I can't listen to my music if I've got the video recorder going, so I'm gonna leave you guys right here, turn my music on. I'll come back and check in with you when I get a little bit further along. Okay, quick update. So this is my first hole in my board. Got my 5/16 1/4 inch. So the 1/4 inch is the hole, the 5/16 is the width. So the 1/4 inch screw will fit, and I need to do a 5/16 drill bit for the hole that this goes in. And then these literally just sit right on top. You hammer them in, and then it becomes a bolt. Or nut, rather, sorry. I also bought this value pack of assorted washers, or O-rings. They make washers for roofing that would actually work well for this, but they didn't have the size I needed, so I thought this would be a good workaround. I think the biggest annoyance with these is that they are actually kind of hard to get on. They're a little smaller than the 1/4 inch opening. It doesn't tell you that, so they have some different sizes. I don't know if you can see that. Different sizes written specifically on the washer, but that is not helpful for what I am trying to do at the moment. And even the ones that are actually marked 1/4 inch are really tight. These have a 7/16 hex head, so this will go on to my drill, and then this is what I'll use to actually screw these in underneath. I will also be putting a bit of Flex Seal or silicone around these before I tighten everything completely down, and that will help with some of that additional leakage, or once these O-rings start to break down, that will give me a little extra comfort that everything is sealed. Alright, so this is what it looks like from the bottom. And this is what it looks like from the top. Now, as I go, I will probably put something weighted onto this board to help me keep it from moving around and sliding around, since I am doing this alone. Alright, now before I push that all the way down, I'm going to get some sealant around that to give it a little extra protection, and I'll do the rest of these tonight. And then I might do the front edge down there, and that way those are nice and secured, and then I can do the center posts as I go. Well, I'm happy to say that this was very easy. And so what I'm going to do now is I looked underneath the van here, and I've marked a center for this section, and I'm just going to go through and drill down matching this line on these boards, and then I'll go back into the wood to just do a little 5/16 hole there for my T-nut, and then I'll get this front section secured, and that will probably be it for today, unless I just continue to be super excited and keep working, because this is actually a lot of fun. What you think, buddy? Do you want to get in your bed? Come on. Come on. Get in your bed. Get in your bed. There you go. Hi. Aw. Don't shake. It's all good. It's all good. It's an adventure. Hey guys. So I have to close this video out a little bit differently. The day that this footage was shot, unfortunately, we had a tragedy occur in our office complex. One of the young ladies that worked a few units down from us was in a domestic violence situation, and sadly, the situation ultimately ended in her loss of life. Needless to say, I don't have any further footage for the rest of that day, and I really just wanted to come out here and say that I wanted to dedicate this video to the young lady that passed away, as well as to her family, and to let them know that I think of them often. I'm praying for them, and I will always remember Atea. Have a great day, everybody. Love you so much. I'll talk to you later.